So the maker of Bud Light, Anheuser-Busch, is announcing today it's laying off hundreds of people, with the company, if you can believe it, still trying to recover from all that fallout over the backlash to a campaign that at one point featured trans influencer Dylan Mulvaney. Bud Light sales have been dropping and dropping for months now. It lost its #1 spot as America's top beer in the process. Something that brings us to tonight's original. On a different kind of beer, a popular craft brewery with time running out to save it. And the people at the center of that push, its employees. Its own workers want to try to save Anchor Brewing in San Francisco. And make no mistake, this place is iconic. It's as old as the modern Summer Olympics, 1896, when William McKinley was president. But by next week, the parent company plans to start liquidating unless somebody comes up with the money to buy them. It's a story that's at the intersection of beer, of tradition, of culture, and of the labor movement. Jake Ward has more.
It's a scramble to save a 127-year-old craft brewery, one of the oldest in the country.
Hey, make no mistake about it, Anchor Steam is a small operation.
Anchor Brewing survived San Francisco's devastating 1906 earthquake and both world wars. But the pandemic and the economic turmoil that came with it seems to have been the beloved brand's breaking point.
Anchor Brewery says we're tapping out.
In the days since the announcement, long lines of people showed up to fill up for what could be one of the last times. Its loyal customers not ready to let go just yet.
It's very sad. I'm a native San Franciscan, and I've been drinking the beer as long as I can remember.
If there's a standard bearer for beer, this was the place.
Now, one group is pulling together to try to save the brewery. Its workers. They say they want to buy the place for themselves and run it as a co-op.
A lot of us are born and raised in San Francisco. We care about what this company was and what it can be.
It's an effort led by the Workers' Union, which says they sent a letter to Anchor's parent company, the Japanese mega brewery Sapporo, which bought Anchor in 2017 for a reported $85 million. Now, Anchor Brewing says they're open to it if the money is there. A spokesperson telling NBC Bay Area, quote, should our employees put forward a bona fide, legally binding offer, one that includes a verifiable source of funds, we would gladly consider it. But they say time is running out. The business will unwind at the beginning of August, just days away. Workers like Kieran Engelman say they're committed.
It's the beer of San Francisco. It's the beer of everyone who's grown up here. So it's about time that it's made by workers, owned by workers, and ran by workers.
The effort is happening during massive turmoil in the labor market, with labor unions flexing their muscles. Multiple high-profile disputes across the country. Actors and writers striking against Hollywood, out fighting for a new contract. The Teamsters just announcing a deal with UPS to avoid a massive walkout. Plus, tough negotiations are ongoing for thousands of FedEx pilots and auto workers. But at Anchor Brewing, employees are hopeful they'll be able to save the company by buying it.
Our ask to Sapporo is give us enough time for us to have a fair shot.
Jake is joining us now. Time is the thing they don't have. The question is money also a thing they don't have? In other words, this is probably going to take tens of millions of dollars, right? Is it realistic that this co-op plan comes together to that degree?
Well, on the one hand, Hallie, right, if you or I were asked in the next few days to come up with $85 million to save a business, right, I don't think we'd have much of a chance. On the other hand, right, this is San Francisco, where you have an incredible amount of money floating around and a huge number of people who want to be seen as connected to that community. And, you know, the San Francisco Board of Supervisors just put out a resolution openly endorsing the idea that Sapporo, the company that owns Anchor Brewing, should give enough time to the workers to go ahead and take over the business as they plan to. As you heard that union rep say at the end there, they just need the time to do it.
What would it look like functionally? Like, would things change for customers if the co-op were to take it over?
The taste of the beer and the way you buy it, no, none of that would change. But there are examples of co-op ownership all across America. You've got places like Alvarado Street Bakery, which stocks things in all sorts of grocery stores. You've got, you know, the Black Star Co-op in Austin. That's a very similar operation that bottles and sells beer. These places definitely happen. Now, you know, the Teamsters are not going to be able to buy out UPS. The pilots are not going to be able to buy out FedEx. But here we have the very real possibility that the people who have worked at this more than century-old icon of San Francisco really could wind up owning it rather than losing their jobs, Hallie.
Jake Ward, fascinating stuff. Thank you very much. We'll look for updates from you, I know, in a few days. Appreciate it.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.